beautiful, elegant, desirable. What if compromise came dressed as a princess? No sword in her hand, no army behind her, no threat upon her lips. She simply walked into the camp. But by the time she appeared, something terrible was already happening. People were dying. Families were mourning. A plague was moving through Israel. And before this story was finished, 24,000 people would be dead. But the strangest part is that Israel's enemies had already tried to destroy them. They had tried armies, they had tried kings, they had even tried a curse, and none of it had worked. So how did a nation that could not be defeated from the outside become so vulnerable from within? To understand that, we have to go back to the plains of Moab. Israel was approaching the Promised Land. Behind them lay Egypt, the Red Sea. Years of wandering through the wilderness. Before them stood the Jordan River. And beyond the Jordan was the land God had promised. But Israel had already left defeated enemies behind them. Sihon, king of the Amorites, had fallen. Og, king of Bashan, had fallen. And now Israel was camped in the plains of Moab, across the Jordan from Jericho. A king named Balak was watching, and Balak was afraid. He had heard what Israel had done. He saw this enormous nation approaching, and he feared that Moab might be next. But Balak did not trust his army to solve the problem. So he searched for another weapon. Not soldiers, not chariots, not swords. A curse. Balak sent messengers to a man named Balaam, son of Beor. He wanted Balaam to come to Moab, look upon Israel, and curse them. Balak believed that if Israel could first be cursed, perhaps Israel could then be defeated. Eventually Balaam came. Balak took him to a place from which he could see the people of Israel. Altars were built, sacrifices were offered, everything was prepared. Balak waited. This was supposed to be the moment when Israel's protection began to collapse. Balaam opened his mouth, but the curse did not come. Instead, he blessed Israel. Balak was furious. This was not what he had paid for. So he moved Balaam to another location. Perhaps the problem was the place. Perhaps another view of Israel would produce another result. Again, altars were built. Again, sacrifices were offered. Again, Balaam prepared to speak. Balak waited for the curse. But again, blessing. Balak could not understand it, so he tried again. Another location, more sacrifices, another attempt. But Balaam could not simply curse the people whom God had blessed. Balak could move Balaam. He could build altars. He could slaughter sacrifices. He could offer rewards. But he could not force God to abandon his people. From the mountains overlooking Israel, the nation appeared almost untouchable. The curse had failed. But that was not the end of Balaam's connection to this story. Remember his name. Because much later, after thousands are dead, after a spear stops a plague, and after Israel goes to war, Balaam will appear again. And when he does, we will finally understand something that was not obvious from the mountain. Because if Israel could not be cursed from the outside, there was another way to bring disaster into the camp. And this time, Israel would open the door itself.